Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome, well, warmish, welcome to Ian's YouTube channel. Yes, I'm out again. I got into trouble on the last video in the comments below when I was making the little fire in my gassy fire stove and pulling the cordage out of the ground like a little scraping pig. Because I've got a bad cold and I've been told to stay in house, but how can you stay in house? I get so claustrophobic, it's like boxes, I'm walking around in boxes. Anyway, after I'd done the last video, I decided to make another video after seeing some stuff on YouTube of how to make cordage with grass, because I figured the last one was rhododendron roots, and I know that there's different kinds of roots, but rhododendron roots for me seems to work quite well. So I thought, well, I can't arrange my camps to go where there's rhododendrons, if you get me. I can't take the rhododendron plants with me. So I thought it was a lot easier if I worked out how to make cordage from grass. So fingers crossed we're going to be able to create something with this wonderful natural bouquet of wonder, and see if we can do something with it, shall we? See you in a minute, people. Right, so I'm sure you'd agree with me, but the first thing we need to do when making some kind of cordage with grass is to collect grass, and it's going to be quite simple. I'm going to find some grass, basically this, and I'm going to get it together. Now I'm hoping this is not going to be too dry, because apparently to make the grass, this rope cordage, it's going to be dry but not too dry, so it's not become brittle, but it needs to be dry enough so that when it does dry out, it doesn't cause the fibres to come apart. So there's no, because obviously hydrated grass is full of water, so when you tighten it up, it's going to feel tight. But once the moisture is released and dried out, there's going to be a gap in there where the moisture was, so it's going to cause the fibres to become further and more sparse, so it causes your rope to become less strong. Okay, so I'm going to basically cut this, loads and loads of this, get it all together in a big bundle. We're going to find somewhere to sit down. I think there's a table over here somewhere, like a camping table. Put it on there, park yourselves down and have a go at winding and twining and playing around with this grass in order to be able to make some kind of cordage. Cracking stuff. Come here, you. Oh no, can't, there's some rubbish in that. I'll find, there'll be some more up there. There's quite a bit in here, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to be too dry. Okay, so we have a small amount of grass. Now normally, I know it's going to take a lot of grass to make a rope, but what we're doing today is we're going to play around with the concept of it. Now, tensile strength comes with this in that it's all the friction and the fibres all hold against each other, and all that is I twist and turn this, it's going to be working against itself, creating tension and friction within the fibres of the grass. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with, or what they tell me to do, is to get some of this grass like this. Now this grass is supposed to be damp, not wet, just damp enough to become malleable. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this. And I know this is going to go pear-shaped pretty quick because it's going to snap. We're going to turn it until it twists in on itself. Like that. Now this is breaking. This is it's far too dry. It's far too dry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep twisting until it twists in on itself. I told you I'm quite sporadic. I just think of somewhere where there's grass. I think it's more like a grass doll. But I can turn it and twisting in on itself. But I've got to get him equal, because he says that if it's not equal, you get a dominant side to it, and that's just happened. So one side stays straight. This is it. Don't you love the learning process? It's so much fun. So we'll work with that amount. Work with that amount. Again, I'm going to twist it. Twist it, twist it, twist it. It's just snapping. It's just snapping, everybody. And then you twist that way with that hand and that way with that hand. And eventually it feeds in onto itself. And it starts to weave. But not with this. Not with this. This don't want to do it. Because it's too dry. Tell you what we'll do. We'll shoot off and try and find something that's not as dry. Here are cows. Come and get yourself some grass. It's all the learning process. And if I did it perfectly every time, it'd be boring, wouldn't it? We have good fun, don't we? Right, we'll find some more less dry grass. Right, what I did notice in my mighty wisdom while I was over there is this stuff which grows low to ground. But the thing is, it's not as long. Now imagine if the other stuff were really long, it'd be awesome. But this stuff isn't as long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it away from ground. Here we go. So they've got this. I wonder, because that's green, there's some dead stuff in there. But I wonder if that is going to offer us some form of cordage. What do you think? Let's have a quick look, shall we? We can turn it in on itself. And round and round. I mean, that's thick, that's too thick. But I'm seeing that that's not actually snapping. You see? That's not snapping. So I can keep turning these now. Obviously I've got the thicknesses wrong, but okay, right, okay, we've got more of a chance with that. I just need to thin it out a bit more. Alright guys. Let's have some fun. Alright, so we're back to the table. Right, what I've got here is a little bit of grass and a little bit of grass and a little bit of grass. Okay, so I've got 3 bits of grass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this first bit of grass. Let me come a bit closer to you. And I'm going to twist it like that until it allows, because I'm twisting that way with that and that way with that, and allow it naturally to turn in on itself. Okay, nice and tight. Let it turn in on itself. So it produces this like a little awl. I'm hoping you can see that right. So I'm going to continue with that, twisting, and let it twist in on itself till it creates the beginning of something wonderful. Here we go. Now, with this grass being so short, it's not going to be long till I've got to come round and add some more grass to each end of these. So I'm twisting them together, twisting that round and round, and then I'm twisting that round and round as well, and then I'm twisting it round. So it's causing this beginning, this little bit of rope. So we've got this little noggin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my other head torch on, bring you closer in and let you see what's going on from this point. Right, I've got my little head torch on now, so I'm hoping you can see what's happening. Right, so we've got that little hole at the top and it's working its way down, but it's not very long till we start running out of this green stuff. So what we're going to have to do is put some more green stuff on, but I'm going to make sure that it's the same amount of green stuff there and there that was on before. So I'm going to get that much there. It's a total mess because I've never done this before, but it's just so much fun. Right, and I'm going to get that there and I'm going to weave that into there kind of thing, as such. And then I'm going to get this, do the same thing to the other side. I'm making a right mess of this, but it don't matter, it's just good fun. So what I do there is I'm going to try and turn that into that grass, if that makes any sense. So I'm continuing that process over there. You see? Blimey, it's so fidgety, it's unbelievable. Like today. And then I've got the, where's my noggin gone? Oh, I've lost my, I've lost my other side. So I've got my other side there. You got to remember, this is the first time I've ever done it. This is great fun. And I've got my other one there, so I need to get some more grass from somewhere, from over here. And I need to add that to that one. So like that, just get it mingled in a little bit. I suppose the more you do this, obviously the better at it you become, don't you? Like that. Yeah. So then I'm going to get them both again, and I'm going to be twisting them and turning it. Twisting and turning. Twisting, this is the worst representation. But it's like that when you first learn something. So I've mingled that new grass into the other grass, and now we're back on track again. You see? God, you know what? People on video on YouTube will look so good at this, but like I say, when you've never done it before, it takes a period of time to get good at it. Can you see me rope? I'm creating rope. This is cracking. So we've got to that point. Tell you what, don't have to play on your fingers when you first start. So again, I've got his two little legs. It's got his head and his body. And then I've got his two little bits of straw sticking out there, so his legs wide apart like that. And I'm going to split these up again. I'm making a right mess here, aren't I? Into two piles. You see, with this, once you get started, you can't let go, because you can't let go of your little grass man's legs. So we've got them again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that, mix that into there, spinny, spinny, spinny. Oh, blimey, anybody who's done this before knows how to do it will be absolutely howling now. And then this bit here, a bit too much there, Ian, being a bit zealous, into there. Can you make any sense to what it is I'm doing here? Into there. Oh, blimey, it's really playing on, I'm getting cramp in my fingers. Right, so I've started that off, I've twisted that round and I've got it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to bottom. Like that, we've got his little man's legs, and I can trim all these off after, it's not a problem. And again, I'm going to twist it and twist it. And twist it, and twist it. And twist it. Get that bit sticking out the top. Hang on, I've got to clean that up. It's trying to grow arms. So there we go, that bit there, get off of my length of rope. So I can clean it all up after, it's no big deal. So you can see that even though it's scraggly, I am actually creating cord. And it's a bit thick, but I suppose I am. But I'm twisting and twisting, yeah, and it's producing cordage. Isn't that great? You know, I've seen some people and they get all this preparation in place. I've just come out into this and just chuck this together. Yeah, and that's quite strong. That's absolutely cracking. And you keep going on like that. I think this grass is a bit wet. The other one was too dry. And this one's a bit too wet. So I'm trying to... I know eventually once you get into doing this, I'm told, I've seen, that you do get good at it. It's muscle memory, people. Just look, if you don't know what muscle memory is, look it up. Your brain forms patterns in conjunction with muscle movement over a period of time. And when it knows that you need to do a particular skill, it will memorize an automatic process for muscles to work. Yeah? We'll get that one round, that's not twisting. Now I could go on for ages with that. And there are other things you can use. Do you like it? Do you like my wonderful grass rope? I think that's cracking. And I could take all that, but I'll be here for hours, wouldn't I? But I could take all that. It's got a bit of a weak point there, but other than that, it's cracking. And I could take that and I could use it to bond pieces of wood together on a shelter and such like. I'm putting some, you can see the white of my finger. I'm really pulling hard on that. Look, and there, look, but really hard, and that's strong. That's strong, everybody. I'm really impressed with that, actually. I thought it would be a bit of a joke, but I'm laughing about it. Hang on. I'm laughing about this, but you know what? That's quite impressive. Yeah, that's twanged around there. Yeah, that's got that. You can feel when it's getting it, because friction pulls in. That tensile energy in there, it pulls in. I'm getting cramp in my fingers, because I'm not used to it. It's no muscle memory there. It's like when you're rock climbing. There's a lot of muscle memory involved in that. The motions and things you need to do with your hands while rock climbing. Anybody who first starts out ends up with very bad cramps in their hands. But once you've been doing it for a period of time, you get good at it. And it don't hurt you anymore. I know these are too thick. I know they are, but we're just trying to advance our system. And that's just taken straight away. That took straight away. And you can make this as thick or as thin, I suppose, as you like, depending what it is that you're wanting to do. I'm enjoying this. This is therapeutic. Blimey, that word didn't want to come out there, did it? So I keep twisting it. Go on, get off. Get over there, you lot. And I keep twisting it. But I mean, I could do this a lot tidier, couldn't I? Of course I could. But when you're doing it for the first time, it's fun. But it does twang on hands when you first doing it, until you get that muscle memory in place. But I reckon if I did that with thickness thick enough, come on, get back up there, strands, I could swing in a tree with that. I'm not gonna do, so don't get yourself too excited. You're not gonna see me swinging in a tree woods on a piece of rope made. But I could continue that down. Let me just trim this off again so it looks pretty. Because your bits when you add it. Watch, I've always got my fingers out of the way of my knife, by the way. My finger's not in place. Alright. So we've got to there, we've still got us 2 strands as legs. Right, and then we that is strong. I'm not winding you up, that is genuinely strong. Alright. And that piece of rope there, people, in that short period of time, which is locked off at that end because it's twisted over, is made out of grass. How awesome is that? You know? Just grass. And if I could get them right big pieces over there and do it with that, blimey, it'd be really strong. I'm impressed with that. I'm enjoying that. That's good. There you go. Top marks. Now let's go and look for something else we can use. Okay, I'm being really quiet now because I've just seen 2 young deer in the woods. First I saw their eyes, and I actually thought it was a reflector jacket or something in the woods. Then I thought it were rabbits, and then I realised that their eyes were too far apart. And then I realised it were deer. So, how lovely is that to find deer in a local wood like that? I've been told about them before, but never seen them. I'll go looking for them now. If I see them again, I'll point them out to you. Well, that was really fun, that, going over there and seeing that couple of pair of eyes staring out at me like little diamonds, and then when I sort of focused in on them with my eyes and my torch, I suddenly realised that they were deer. I don't know what kind of deer they were, but it was pretty special. What you're looking at now is rhododendron bush. Now, rhododendron isn't supposed to be in this wood, as I've mentioned before on the last video. They are killing the other trees because they are sending root system out under the ground. It stretches out with tendrils, and it's putting too much moisture into the soil, which is rotting the roots out from the other plants, which in this case is mainly silver birch. So they're not supposed to be here, and this summer they were ripping loads of them out, but they're also chopping lots of silver birch down also, because they were rotten, they were dying, and they've marked them all up with little pink spots to die. So what we're going to do now is just down here in this little area down here, and I'm going to get down there like a little piggy jack, Here we go, let's do it now, shall we? Let's do it now. I'm going to pull some roots out. We're going to pull, hopefully, wait a minute, I'll just turn this rhododendron branch. I'm going to turn this rhododendron branch into a root finding stick. Let's just put that away while I snap the end off, because it's quite rubbery, is this? So it's a bit of a nightmare. If you snap it, it'll give you that point to start with. Let's get it off at this end as well, so I'm not beating this end to death. That's it. Gone. So I'm going to get my knife now and just clean that end up. We are in view, aren't we? Yes. Clean that end up to get a bit of point. And then I'm going to get myself in there like a little piggy again. Always remember to clean your blade. And I'll see if we can get some roots now. Let's have a look. Woo. You're going to get mucky. If you're doing this, you'll get mucky. Let's get some leaves away. The root basically becomes the plant. I can tear these up because they're not supposed to be here. They're killing the wood. So if anything, I'm actually helping the wood by doing this. And what I'm doing is getting down into the root system. Right, I found one here. So I'm going to follow it along. Here's my diggy stick. Okay, so I want to bring you in on this bit. This is the hunt for the roots. So you can see that this root's here and it's going over this direction, so I'm following it as far as I can to the thickness I can use it. So I've got that there, look. I can go up here now, get some of this and continue after that root. But I'm finding other roots then, you see. Other roots that are connected in. It's not a clean job, but then again, sometimes you just have to get mucky. But it don't matter because it's all great fun. Yeah. See, let's get you over here, look. You see? It goes out, it grows out with these tendrils. And it's growing all over, so you get these really short ones, sorry, these really thin ones, which you can also use, of course. In fact, we'll take some of them with us and we'll have some fun with them, because these really thin ones are alright as well, so I'll start hanging them on there. But these thicker ones are good for bigger jobs, aren't they? Come on. Okay guys, so we're talking about cordage, yeah. Well, this stuff is the root of the rhododendron. I keep saying rhododendron, it's rhododendron. And it is flexible. I could get all the bark off, you know, on the last video when I put the stick in the ground and split it and pulled it through. I could get all the bark off with that, and you'll find that that creates great solid cordage. Just like that. I can run that under there like so. and lock it off with friction, not just there. And my fingers will not open at all with that. That is solid because that has gone through there, round. Because as soon as you tie a knot in it, and anything you put a knot in can lose 50% of its strength. But that in itself is a really, really good piece of cordage, and I can undo it like so, and I can take it apart. I can put it in my bag, and I can take that on with me to the next spot. There you go. So for example, if you got, let me find 2 bits of stick. We'll use the root itself. So that's the other piece of root. And why do I keep thinking Groot when I say root? So if I want to pass them together, I will go like that, and I'll go back over myself. Yeah. That's so. Pulling it tight all the way down. There we go. All right, then I can pass it back under itself, like so. All right. And lock it off just there. And that has given me a solid joint just there. Let's tidy that up with that. Just there, and trim that off. So you can see how that can be used on a campsite. Isn't that great? And that's the root of a rhododendron. Ha! Said it properly for once. Alright, there you go. What do you think to that? I hope that's been of use to somebody. Anyway, let's have a look around and see if there's anything else that we can utilise. I'll take a photo of that for you. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this. Didn't realise that was there. I really hope you've enjoyed this. We've been out and we've made cordage with grass, showing you how to do that. Not in a very good, because it's the first time I've ever done it. But we've also used the rhododendron roots, and there's lots of other plants that you can use the roots of. That'd be brilliant for, like, if somebody broke the leg, put a stick either side, you could use these kind of roots in order to be able to hold that together. We've also, I was going to go into looking at bark, the internal fibres of bark to make cordage, and it's something we can do again in future. But my phone battery's about to die, and that's what I'm recording this on. And also my battery on my torch is on its way out, which I don't really mind because I don't mind walking out at dark, but I can't video anything because we can't see anything. So I'm going to put my little knife away, and I'm going to go back to my house and take a nice Beecham's flu powder in order to be able to make myself feel better, because I was alright when I first came out because it was cold, but as I've warmed up while I've been digging in ground like a little pig, it's made me sort of kick off, and all my glandular system, my endocrine system's kicking off now, so I've got snot coming out in every orifice. See you in a bit, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Loads more stuff on its way. See you in a bit. Thanks. Bye bye.